Hey everybody, Kitty Dad Kenobi here. Don't go anywhere. Today we're going to be discussing Anakin's infamous blade and hilt from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and we're going to be reviewing Shadowfoil Props, Youngling Slayer, great name, Youngling Slayer, third run. This is an incredibly accurate representation of Anakin's hilt. Not only is it accurate, but it's also customizable, so don't go anywhere. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Saber's Keep. As always, I am your host, Kitty Dad Kenobi. Today we're going to be discussing Anakin's weapon from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. His lightsaber, several companies make them. There's actually quite a few of them out there, but today we're going to be reviewing, this is the one made by Shadowfoil Props. This is the Youngling Slayer. This is in reference to Anakin's move into the temple and the horrible things that he did to most of the younglings that were in the temple. Again, this is the third run. We're fortunate enough to have the three here. It is customizable in the sense that you can make it look like the auction hilts from the end of the movie afterward. I'm going to be setting this up to look like the Mustafar battle scene. In my mind, that is the turning point of everything in the Star Wars universe. And that is where he fought Obi-Wan Kenobi using that hilt. This has got a really special chassis, and I'm very excited to show it to you. So let's get into it. This is the Shadowfoil Props Youngling Slayer 3, the third run. This one has sort of an understated elegance to it. So what do we have? Wow. I mean, that's a fingerprint magnet, but totally worth it. But, you know, this is why we wear the gloves. So, okay. All right, so obviously we have the hilt. Let's set that aside for a moment. And okay, we've got our toolkit. Okay, and this is the exciting part. Check this out. Okay, so there's two of them here. There's kind of an antiqued copper, which is this one here, and then there's a natural copper, which is this one. I don't know if you can see the difference. There's on the camera, it's kind of hard to tell, but there is a difference there between the two. This one's a little bit lighter. I don't know if you can really see that or not. And it's got both sets of buttons, okay? And then this one also has the, this one also has the, okay, let's set the buttons aside. And, okay, so this has got the pommel caps. So we have, what do we have here? We have, okay, this is the standard scene, if I understand it correctly, throughout the film. Aside from Mustafar, Mustafar had these little insets in here are a little bit deeper in the Mustafar battle scene. You can't really see how deep these are, but they're not that deep really. So this one should then be, yeah, this one's really kind of shallow between the two of them. And then the one that's on here, this one is really deep. So this is the Mustafar. And obviously I had this out first, and I pulled that pommel cap out and set it on here. So a couple of things here. Let's open it up. Actually, we'll save that. A couple of things. This, as long as we're discussing the buttons, this is the painted buttons. So we have the natural copper, we have the antiqued copper, and then we have this painted copper. These are really hard to get. I've got a very good friend online who goes by Padawan Lolo, and he helped me secure these. I mean, when they're for sale, they're sold really, really quickly. But in the Mustafar battle scene, the painted ones were the ones that were used. Another thing is the bunny ears, their placement in relation to the top button. Some people refer to this as the top. We'll call it the bunny button. The relation between the bunny ears and the bunny button is closest at the Mustafar battle scene, as opposed to the hilts used in the other portions of the movie, not to include the stunt, of course. This is the hero version. For those of you who don't know, by the way, and I'm sure there's probably just a few of you, most people do now, The hero is the one that you see hanging on the hero's belt. The stunt is the one that they use throughout the action scenes of the movie, where, like, if you've ever tried to swing one of these around with this control box on it, it is not easy. So with the stunt, we'll often have this removed. You can even buy some, like TXQ's got many that don't have this on here. And it makes it a lot easier to spin. So this one, it also comes with, I don't know if you noticed it in here. Yeah, here we go. The lips on here. These are called the lips, and it refers to this area in here. Some people think, can you see this here? That section, yeah, right up in here. You see there's like this section here, and then there's this little extra section here on the outside, that area right here. That area right there, as opposed to that area right there. That little area is called the lip, and some people say that it was black, at least in certain scenes. So they give you the black lip to replace that one in case that's the way you side in that particular argument. So there's a lot of adjustment that can be done. To do this one here, you need to remove this section here. Take out the plug, by the way, which is a really nice plug. It's reminiscent of the ones like Luke uses in the films, but which is actually from a Graflex camera, and this is a contact for the bulb. This one is just more stylized. The main thing is when we had episode 4, A New Hope, we didn't really have lightsabers. I mean, no one even knew what a lightsaber was. So the time the prequels came out, though, technology had gotten a lot further, machining had gotten a lot further. So this was a purpose-made hilt. So it's 89 Sabers, in fact, calls this the skinny hilt, or the skinny flex, as opposed to Graflex, because it is significantly thinner than the one used. In fact, let's take a look at that. So here's the one used for episode 4, A New Hope. Now, there's a couple of differences here. One is the control box is on the opposite side. So, and famously, this one used for A New Hope with the Graflex on there, one, it's thicker, decidedly, and this clamp is used to clamp this onto the side of a camera. So there are some differences. So you've got a copper button here and a copper button here, and this one is supposed to be handed down from, it's lost on Mustafar, and then it's carried by Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then eventually given to Luke later on. But this is the one that Luke gets when we first see the lightsaber for the first time. And it only has, it has the glass side down here, and it only has this button on top and this button here. But by the time its predecessor, which is supposed to be this one, it's got a button on top and a button on the bottom, which is similar to the way it's done in episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. So when we get to episode 5, now it's on the same side as our hilt today. This is the episode 5 Empire Strikes Back hilt, and this is the Any, or the Youngling Slayer in this case. So the control box is on the correct side, and we have PCBs on either side, so at least that's similar. No, we have a clamp here, but we have this cool looking switch down here. But we do have buttons on top, so we have 2 buttons on top and 2 buttons on the bottom. Different size, different color, but at least they're the same again. So there is, we'll bring in the original in here. So there are some really interesting questions to ask. Now I'm sure that somebody knows the reasons why. So getting into the Youngling Slayer, I can't wait anymore. So I'm gonna have to show you, also one more thing here, the Graflex has been replaced by, and the silver tape, I don't know if you noticed, but previously there was silver tape on the word Graflex here on the Empire Strikes Back clamp, this being the clamp, as opposed to episode 4, which had the word Graflex here. Now it's this knurling, which is pretty cool. This is also really accurate. There are various ones out there. 89 Sabers makes one, as we've mentioned before. 7 Chambers and the Youngling Slayer are neck and neck at the top. At the point of this video, I have been told by a variety of authorities, although you may find something different on Google, that the Youngling Slayer 3rd run is at the top now as far as the most accurate. And we're measuring things in millimeters and portions of degree of angle, like in the knurling here. But this one is as it stands this moment, the most accurate. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of things down in the comments down below. That's cool. You can write down here and tell me all about it. But I want to get to this. This is really exciting. Shadowfoil Elite chassis. This particular one is the, let me take off this one here too. There you go, the switch is underneath here. This particular one is done in gold-plated brass. This is brass and it's been gold-plated. It's just, it's gorgeous. The crystal on this side, this particular one has got an actual crystal in it and an OLED. The kill switch is right here. And underneath here you have, there we go, we have the battery over here. Fortunately, this installer was fantastic. I like the antiquing of the gold here. So let's turn this on.
This is where the fun begins.
I mean, look at that. That's just amazing. Obviously, this is an Anakin font. And you've got this lighting effect here on the side. This is actually kind of a bar graph for, well, not kind of, it's a bar graph for the battery power. So this is great up here. Now it's yellow. I don't know if you could really see that, but this is green, yellow, and then it gets critical down here. And then it will actually tell you battery power low. It comes out of this speaker. This is a bass tuned speaker, which is pretty great. Let's put this in and see how it plays. All right, so using that little strip that goes right underneath that one there. Let's thread that on and put our switch back on. Okay, so in this particular setup, this is the ignition or the power button, and then this becomes your auxiliary. So as you can hear, it's pretty loud. Take a look at this now inside. Let's see what happens as we change the fonts. This has become the show about the chassis, hasn't it? Let's do this. Let's put it in. Okay, so now you can see what this is looking like when it... There's your card under here. You can see the little LED light on there. And of course the lighted PCB at the top. Wow. So this, I mean, I can't recommend this particular chassis enough. It's really cool. I love the way my installer painted this. I'd recommend that actually. Ian Bush is his name, by the way. The gold plating on here is just fantastic. I mean, it really just ups the game. They have a variety of things. I believe it's I think there's 3 metal choices. Oh, it's a natural brass or brass plated, and then there was the platinum plated. Which would give it more of a silver look. So, and not a significant price difference between them, quite honestly. So, you know, whatever your fancy is, that's, to me, that's the way to go. But the hilt, which is what we're here for, the hilt is amazing. You can see the sound venting here in the bottom. Let's see how we put a blade in and how that goes. So for this one, this is the retention screw right here. So we're just gonna unscrew that a little bit. So that will loosen up. There it goes. All right, look at that blade plug. I mean, it's just really nice. So that should open it up for us to be able to insert. So let's go take a look. Always the most fun in the show. So this particular hilt takes a 7/8 inch blade. This is a 32 inch by 7/8 inch blade. A lot of people prefer 1 inch. The thing about the 7/8 inch blade is there's less material and it's a lot brighter, which you'll probably notice now. So let's just check it out. Got an aqua blade. should be purple. Yes, very good. Don't you hate it when you select the font and it's not the right color? That should actually probably come out slower and with the white tip there at the end. Yeah, that is that bass really comes through. Skull. Oh, good. It's actually on camera it looks a little bit more yellow, but it is actually a proper orange. Temple chord. There, that's yellow. Sounds right.
Anakin Skywalker.
And we're back to Annie. Yeah, I really like this one. So what are your thoughts? I'm going to say for accuracy, this is probably at least a 9.5. Nothing is ever 10. You're never going to find something that's absolutely perfect to what you saw on the screen. There's the little bits of dirt on it and so on. It's never going to be perfect. Even with stencils, for instance. So this is a Luke V2. You can see here it's got the stenciling on it. I mean, I've really spent a lot of time getting just the right stenciling done, the right PCB on it. This has got components from Roman Props and the Graphics Shop, Wanawanga, Sloth Furnace. I've done as much as I can to it. It's about as good as you're going to get. And it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be exactly the way you think it should be. But I think 9.5 is fair for this, especially being set up. And yeah, I was right about the fingerprint magnet thing. It's just this fingerprint's on it already. It's set up in the Mustafar scene, and if you look at the books, if you look at the clips from online, if you look at Wanawanga's online PDF book on it, it's pretty much spot on. But of course, there's always going to be something. So I'm going to give this a 9.5. As far as ergonomics goes, the CoverTech wheel, I mean it doesn't clank around like it does on the graphics hilt, so it's kind of nice. Most people grip it kind of around this and kind of palm this section of it, which does, or even hold it up high. Part of that's just because you can hit the buttons that way. But actual hilts with a metal blade, you want to choke it up high anyway. So in that case, it does become a two-handed saber. Like we discussed with Balin's Skull, that's a real two-handed saber. This is not, but it can be. I mean, it is a little bit longer than, say, it is actually, in fact, a little bit longer, the usable portion of it. So for ergonomics, I'm going to give it about an 8.5. It could be better. It's not the fault of Shadowfoil or anyone else who makes this prop. It is just the way it was designed. But the thing is, it looks fantastic. On your belt, I mean, this is what people are going to say. It's really good looking. So is it worth it for the for the discomfort of holding it? Yeah, absolutely. Would you take it to battle? Well, no, because it's not a real lightsaber. The buttons, I'm a fan of these painted buttons here. These things are just amazing. The ability to be able to move things back and forth is fantastic. I love that I can. I mean, many come with different pommel caps, but I love that I can go from the deeper inset Mustafar to the other one. This auction 1 versus auction 2. I love that I can move the bunny ears back and forth. I love that I can change the lips on here. So if I'm a person who believes that it was one way, I can put the black on. If it's the other way, it's back to the chrome again. Really, really enjoy that. I love the way, the basic design of it. And there's a whole lot of chassis out there that are already pre-made that you can drop in here. The nice thing about this chassis is, when we take out the chassis that's in here, this becomes an empty hilt. There's nothing in it. So if you bought the hilt as an empty, that's what you get, is this without the chassis in it, just a tube going down. You just get somebody to install the chassis and send it to you, and all you'd have to do is unscrew this, drop the switch down, literally drop the switch in top. There's little pieces in there that hold it. You drop the switch in there and you screw this back on again, boom, it's an install. You can honestly say you installed a lightsaber. So it's super easy to install. So it's affordable in that sense because all you're really doing is buying an installed chassis and sticking it in there. And if you can figure out how to do a chassis, an eco chassis, through a kit like you get from Kiar, for example, you've got an installed hilt. That's fantastic. So for ease of use and everything else, again, a 9.5. This is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I don't know what the 1 and 2 were. I know that there were some changes made. I don't know what those were. I imagine it was also a quality lightsaber. But at least for, now that I've experienced the 89 Sabers Aniflex, or Skinny Flex, and the Shadowfoil Youngling Slayer, the quality difference definitely favors this one. If you enjoyed this type of content, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because remember, this is the content you're looking for. I hope to see you back here again soon. We'll have another video up next week. Remember, your focus becomes your reality. Have a great Star Wars week. See you next week.